So today we're going to take a look at some of the jobs we need to be doing in February. Let's have a quick coffee, then we'll go through the list of what we need to get done. One of the jobs we're going to do at home, which we don't need to do here, we can plant up peppers in little pots. Yep. And I use cling film over the top of the pot with an elastic band. Put them on a nice sunny spot on the windowsill, somewhere where they don't get cold frost, just because peppers have quite a long growing season.
Why do you have to put a cling film?
Just helps them. Aids with the germination. Okay. Keeps the moisture in, keeps the heat in, so it heats up during the day and they don't lose some of that residual warmth in the night time. Bit like, imagine having like a little greenhouse over the top of it. That's what we're replicating with a bit of cling film. Big job while we're getting up geared ready for spring is we can start to improve the soil structure. So that means digging in lots of compost. Anything to improve the structure of the soil, we can be doing that while we're waiting for the main growing season. Obviously we've got seeds starting to germinate, but there are weeds starting to germinate in the allotment. There's tiny little perennial weeds which start coming up. So we could be getting on top of that, removing some of them before they start growing and getting bigger.
So because they're harder to get out when they're more established?
Yeah, harder work, more work, just to try and get rid of them. If we can just keep on top of it while we're kind of slowly growing and they're starting to come up, we just hit them now and keep on top of them. Bring back the old shoots, the old canes, raspberry canes, especially the autumn fruiting raspberries. Do you remember last year we bought a few to put in from the garden centre? So you take them right back to ground level.
What does that do?
Encourages new growth.
Be careful not to kill the plant though.
No, just get them right back, literally take them right back to the soil level. With a nice sharp pair of secateurs, just snip, 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 ground level, and then you'll see all the new ones coming up for this year. So that's another big job we can be doing while we're waiting for spring.
Does that make them flourish a bit better? Does it make
more fruit,
comes back?
Healthier plant? Just because they're not putting effort into these old canes. We're encouraging new canes to come up.
I know that you cut it right back.
Right to the soil. Yeah, nice sharp snips all the way back. We can, without getting too eager and putting too many in, we could get a couple of early tomato plants in, and then that way we've got a bit more of a staggered crop of tomatoes instead of having all of our tomatoes planted in one go.
Is it kind of like potatoes? You have your earlies and
kind of. But this is more of a self-imposed one because when I first started, I just put all my tomatoes in one go and everything kind of fruited at the same time. It'd be nice to try and
loads of tomatoes.
Yeah, but we were growing at home because we didn't have a greenhouse last year, so I had outdoor varieties.
We got blight last year, didn't we? A little bit of blight.
So two things happened last year. Number one, they completely dried out in a drought because we went away in one of the hottest weeks of the year, and I was stupid enough to not get anyone to water them. So they suffered from that, brought some of them back again, didn't I? And then in the autumn, when we had all the fruits on there, we just had constant rain. And something tomato plants don't like, they don't like wet leaves. They prefer the water down at the roots. So I'm really excited this year because obviously in the greenhouse, they're sheltered from the rain. Yeah. So we can direct feed and water through the root system in compost bags and so a couple of big pots. I'm going to try pots and bags because bags dry out quicker because they're thinner. Yeah. And then obviously the pots have got more depth of soil. So we try both, but I'm just excited to see if we suffer less from the blight and the rot because the leaves, the tomato plants aren't getting hit with so much wet rain. Yeah. Wet rain? Wet rain. Have you heard of dry rain? Springtime onions and garlic. So if you haven't planted them in the winter like we did, you can put some of your onion and your garlic bulbs out now for cropping in the summer. We've got the pots, which I'll show you what we've got going on in the greenhouse at the end. We've also got some garlic bulbs which are doing really well and they're starting to come through the bottom, so these are going to go out next week. You should be chitting on the windowsill. Have you been chitting on the windowsill?
I've seen you've been chitting.
Chitting your seed potatoes. So first earlies at the moment.
I never knew what chitting was.
No, until I showed you. Well, you knew I was doing it, but I never told you what it was. Yeah. Because you just see little egg trays with potatoes in. Yeah. So basically, for those who don't do it or are new to it, you get seed potatoes. A lot of places you have to order them from a garden centre. Luckily, Dobby's we went to, they just got bags of them. It's almost like a pick and mix of potatoes, wasn't it? You liked it, didn't you? Yeah. We went for Duke of Edward. Duke of Edward? I shouldn't have a YouTube channel. I just talk absolute rud. Rud. Said it.
Oh,
I just talk rubbish the whole time. So Duke of York first earlies, they're chitting on the windowsill. Chitting is when you put them on the windowsill out of the soil, and so you get tubers, which are the little stringy stalks, the root system. They look like little vines which come out the potatoes sometimes when you've left a potato in the cupboard.
Yep.
When they get to about 2 centimetres, they're not too long and spindly because you don't want them to snap. That's when you put them into the soil, just gives them a head start.
Yeah.
So it allows the root system kind of to establish itself, and then you just get a healthier plant, earlier crop. Yeah, we should be chitting on first earlies, and also we should be preparing, and if we have to order, getting ready for our second earlies, which are in the end of March.
Yeah. About Dobbies is that it told you what each specific potato was good for. So it has like a star system on it, and it will kind of have like 4 stars for chipping, 3 stars for mash, 5 stars for roasting, and things like that. So yeah, we kind of use potatoes for all of those things, so we kind of go for an all-rounder, don't we?
Yeah, and also varieties, certain ones are pest resistant, blight resistant, just generally eat better, heavier croppers, stuff like that. We're going to go first early, second early, main crop and late crop, because we eat a lot of potatoes and I've got a lot of space. And also you should be deciding whether you're going to do them in bags or if you're going to do them in the ground. Broad beans undercover, we did that last week. As long as they're undercover and they don't get hit too badly with the frost, get your broad bean seeds in. Refer back to my video last week where I showed you guys about soaking them.
Yes.
Soaking the peas as well.
Yeah.
I'll show you in a minute.
Why do you do that? Why do you have to soak them? What does it do?
Speeds up germination, softens them up. Because the peas and the broad beans have got their food store in the bean or the pea.
Yeah.
But you've dried it out.
Right.
So you're soaking it just gives it a head start. So a little dried out pea, stick it in water overnight for 12 to 24 hours. And then it's already fattened up.
Yeah.
And then that means it can get straight to developing its first shoot and its root system feeding off of the residual energy in the pea itself, like the flesh.
Yeah.
I call it flesh. Is it pea flesh? Peas can be sown in under glass as well. We just mentioned that about the peas. I've got a load of peas on the go from last week because I'm going to harvest the pea shoots. We're allergic to peas. You have no interest in that. But I want to utilise it and put it in salads for me and the kids. Put 4 in each tray, going to let it grow up nice and bushy, and then just harvest clumps of it and put it into salads. So that's a really good one you could be doing now. Next week as well, lettuce crops start growing in the greenhouse at this time of year. Again, how have I spilt coffee? I got so excited talking about the allotment that I've been shaking my cup around. The trick is with lettuce is to sow sparingly and consistently.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you get everything all in one go, and we're trying to maintain a growing season. So
Yeah.
I'm going to grow one little line of lettuce, tray of lettuce now.
Yeah.
And then that'll be cut and come again in a few weeks. And then I'll grow another one, and then another one, and just stagger it so that we're constantly got lettuce to take home with us. Something we're not doing this year because we're working with what we've got, but bare root trees and bushes, fruit bushes, fruit trees, they can be planted up till March. Bought my dad some, didn't we, for Christmas? Dig a big hole. Chuck a load of manure in the bottom, get those bad boys in, get them going. Up till March kind of times, give them time to establish. These are kind of the fruits that you are going to have every year. Like in our garden, we've got blueberry bushes. We've got loads of gooseberries, blackcurrant and raspberries here. Plus we've got some raspberries back at home. So we've got plenty, so I'm not going to buy any more, but that's something you should be doing and thinking about in February. So next is clean your greenhouse. We started that last couple of weeks. This greenhouse is she's an old girl. She needs a little bit more work done on the top with the moss and stuff, but this is the perfect time while you're waiting to get stuck into the spring growing season to remove all the algae.
Why do you need to get rid of the algae? What's the big deal?
Because what you're trying to do is, especially this time of year, is you're trying to maximise the amount of sunlight.
Right.
So if you think about it, if you imagine you've got a green algae film across the whole of the panel, it's going to block out and not allow enough light in. And we're growing in the least amount of light now.
Yeah.
Obviously in spring the days are longer, it's lighter in the morning, it's lighter in the evening. We want to maximise the amount of light our early season seedlings are going to get for germination and our plants in the greenhouse. It's a really easy, quick job to do. It's just to give these a wipe down.
Yeah.
I advise just using water. Some people use a bit of fairy liquid, but don't start putting chemicals and pesticides in here. There's no need. Another thing you could be doing in February is either planting or forcing your rhubarb. If you are going to plant new crowns, you need to find an open light spot for them to grow.
You have to be really careful with rhubarb, don't you? Because you can't eat it, like you can't harvest it straight away. It takes a few years, doesn't it?
Yeah, a couple of years. So someone, can you tell me on here? Is it because it's poisonous? Because I'm not sure. I've always been told it's just to give the plant the time to establish.
Oh, I thought it was because it's poisonous, or not poisonous to the point where it'd be deadly. It just can give you a really bad tummy.
Yeah, I thought it was just to give the plant time to establish and grow decent, healthy, strong stalks of rhubarb. I'm going to look it up. I'll make a note on the screen now as to which one it is, because I need to look at that, because I don't know. That's fascinating if it is. Flowers, so sweet peas going to go in over this month. Got some sweet peas. Early spring, late winter plants growing up, which can be gorgeous now. Daffodils, crocuses, snowdrops. I love seeing snowdrops. They come up through our lawn every year. I think they're stunning. Something I'm going to look at later on is Fantasia mix, which flowers which actually attract predators.
Oh.
Specifically hoverflies.
Oh.
And hoverflies are predators.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know that.
But they will help to keep the pests under control.
Are these the ones that you put in hanging baskets, or can you put them into the ground?
I'm going to have a look it up, because it's a new one for me this season. Because I always do the beer traps, the putting crushed eggshells down, all these things. But I need to really focus on growing things which are aiding as well. So, because everyone moans about wasps, and I think wasps are super.
Oh, they're so good for the allotment.
Predate on cat. Do you remember in our old allotment? Shai was fascinated because the wasps were flying down around the cabbage, weren't they? Yeah. And they were killing the caterpillars, rolling them into a ball, like mushy ball, and then flying off with them. Yeah. Just kept coming back, didn't they? Yeah. So I've got all these caterpillars destroying my crop, and then I've got wasps helping me predating on the caterpillars. So I don't hate on wasps. I actively encourage them.
And it's a natural repellent as well, because obviously you want to be as humane as possible, because you're working with nature and stuff, and it's just. Yeah. That's
the whole point of it, isn't it? Yeah. That's why we built a log pile for the insects down the back of the greenhouse, which is in a previous video. That's why we're looking at encouraging places for hedgehogs, and we're not pushing out wildlife. We're working alongside it. I keep saying that, and I'll say it all the way through this series. But we're working alongside nature, using nature for its benefits. We're not shutting it out. Yeah,
it means unfortunately you are going to lose some crops, but if you can do things that are going to naturally get rid of it, then it's better for everyone. If you come to terms that you're going to lose some crops, then the better, isn't it?
Yeah. I do think that obviously we can't grow too much outdoors at the moment, other than your garlics, your onions and stuff like that. And this is a new allotment, so we're not going to be discussing this year the things we could be harvesting. Yeah. As of next year, in the second growing season, a major part of this will be what can we harvest in February. Yeah. But there's no point talking about that, because if you're new like us, we're not at that point yet. No. But we should be harvesting leeks. The last of the cabbage, leeks, stuff like that. But anyway, exciting stuff for us to talk about next year. It is important that we don't get too enthusiastic. It is still winter. We've had a bit of frost in the last few days. So if you are going to do stuff, you want to be growing in cold frames in the greenhouse.
Or make use of your windowsill.
Yes, so the windowsill in your house is going to be perfect. We're going to grow some lettuce down here and some spring onions, early cropping, so we can harvest them. But we're going to put some on the windowsill indoors, because you've got the central heating on. It's a warm environment. There's no reason why you can't utilise your windowsills for growing herbs, leaf crops, salad crops at the moment. But let's not get too excited. Let's look forward to spring and the main growing season. Let's get all these things we can be doing in February under our belt this month. Oh, and also, but I've done it. This is why I wasn't going to mention it. Yeah. Get out and buy your seeds. Get a list of what you're going to grow. Decide what you're going to grow. Get your seeds ready. You can go to a garden centre. It's great for inspiration. Yeah. And a coffee. And a cake. We've got all our seeds. I've planned everything. I'm not spending much money this year. I kind of said to Vicky, I don't want this new allotment to be a money sink. I want to work with what we got and make the most of what we have before we start moving on and buying gadgets, gizmos and stuff like that. I think there's a tendency just to get too into it. Yeah. Like money-wise.
You could even go and get your pots that you're planning on using throughout the year. Yeah. Go and get them now. Or get it ready.
Look on Marketplace and FacePay. because now till just spring, people have spring clear outs. Yeah, so that pretty much sums it up for today. I'm just going to show you the garlic, the peas, and what we've got going on and what we've done so far with January's jobs. Show you potting up and getting the peppers and tomatoes ready. But other than that, I think it's back to normal next week with an allotment diary where we get on with jobs, as mentioned in this. Thank you for watching, as always. Thank you for everyone who comments. I'd love it if you put in the comments what you're getting up to, what the weather's like where you're at. A few people reached out from the last few videos saying they're just starting the allotment journey. People just taking new allotments on. It's all exciting and I love hearing it. I want to hear other people's stories. I want other people's progress, because it encourages me and you to carry on.
And obviously in other countries it's not winter time, so what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing in other countries? Yeah, because in Australia it's baking.
Yeah. Peak summer.
If you're new to the channel, say hello, because I'm trying to build a lovely community. It's not just a gardening channel, so I think some people don't realise that, because you kind of come through a channel through a video. I do allotment content every weekend. It's like a allotment diary, sharing our journey. This week's got a new series starting, where I am cooking up World War II ration style recipes from our trip to the Milestone Museum. I bought the ration book from 1940. I've been out and about buying ingredients.
Still waiting for our snack verse. It's the 1st of February.
They messaged saying there's been an issue with one of the items, so it's not going to be dispatched till the 3rd.
Oh, so that's going to come up. That'll be coming up. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's true. That's a snack verse coming up, and then I've cancelled it since then. Not because they've been late, because we're going away.
On Harbs.
Yeah, so reach out, say hello if you're new. I've done that bit. And then on Fridays I'll do my MRE reviews, which is not going to change because I love doing MREs. So it's really eclectic. It's Weary Wolf Adventures. It's not Weary Wolf Allotment. I lost someone, a subscriber. They messaged me saying I joined because I was interested in your allotment, but you do other stuff. I was like, it's my channel. It's my channel. And yes, on YouTube they say niche into a certain thing. But I'm not that advanced when it comes to gardening and allotment work anyway, so I could not make an entire channel out of it because I don't know everything. I'm learning off of you lot as I go along. This is just sharing what we're doing.
That is the beauty of YouTube though, is that you don't have to watch every video.
No. So yeah, I'm not changing. It's MRE reviews every Friday without fail. That's one of my main passions and hobbies, is tasting military rations. I love it. Nerd, yes.
Kids love it.
Kids love doing it. You jump in on some of them. Yeah, that's never going to change. That's on every Friday without fail. And then on the weekends you've got allotment or gardening or growing, self-sufficiency I'm going to call that. And then on Tuesdays is whatever.
Random.
So last week it was tasting random Lay's flavours. We had black truffle and squid.
it looked mouldy.
Yeah, but they were delicious.
You told me that you'd found them underneath Peyton's bed because you'd had...
So you come home from football training.
Yeah.
I went, oh, you won't believe this. I said, I looked under Peyton's bed. I found a whole pack of Pringles from a year ago. And it was the black truffles. If you've seen the video, you know what I'm on about. If you haven't, you're thinking, what's he blabbering on about? But they were black. They're blacky, kind of grey black. Gross. They look like they'd been left somewhere, and they from years and years ago. But they were just the black truffle.
You said they tasted amazing.
Incredible. Absolutely delicious. But just the look of them, you're like, bleh.
Yeah, I'm more of a visual eater. If it looks good, I'll eat it.
Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.
Bye.
The mystery bulbs are starting to come up. Look, Vic, they've got more of a fresh green shoot coming through. This garlic really needs to go out soon. Imagine the root system. Yeah. Okay, so that'll be a job for next week. And the peas are coming up from last week. They're only planted last week.
Yeah.
So soaking the peas in advance really does give it a head start. You can see they're all starting to come up. No sign of the broad beans, but that's okay. If the peas are happy, the broad beans are going to be happy. So I picked out the peppers, which I'm going to grow. I'm going to grow jalapenos because I like eating pickled jalapenos. So February to March, I'm going to put 2 lots in this month, and then we're going to follow up with a couple more, probably 3 more plants at the end of March. I was just looking at the tomato seeds I've got quite a few varieties. So I was just checking. So these are sow February. So you've got sow February here. These ones are sow end of March, April. So I might hold off on them. What else have I got here? So February for them. So we've got a cherry variety, a larger variety, and then we've got like a standard variety. So I might just grow one of each and really resist the temptation to plant them all out now. So if we just grow one little seed tray, put two seeds in each tray, pick out the stronger, healthier seedling as it comes up, and then we can try and get an early crop of tomatoes. So what was this? Red Alert, Sweet Million, Cherry, and then a Super Marmand, something like that. Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to pot up some wild rocket, and some Japanese greens. Let's get that done today, and then just get them on the windowsill. Well, we've got a bit of sunshine today. Got a bit of a green patio out there, but honest to God, you'll see later on in the year that soon disperses. It's because we've got a south-facing garden, and as soon as the sun hits that, it just bleaches it and gets rid of it. So I'm not too worried about that. Need to clean these windows as well, man. But there's our Duke of Edward potatoes chitting nicely on the windowsill. Our way of murder when Vicky goes to play football. I just do all the growing. I do all my gardening indoors when the weather's when we're still in February and it's cold out. I mean, the sun's shining today. You probably hear the birds chirping. It is it's definitely feeling more positive, but it's still brisk out there. But I just take advantage of Vicky not being here, and then I take over the kitchen and get soil, compost everywhere. Right, so this is the jalapeno seeds. So we put 2 seeds in each pot, and then whatever one comes up strongest, we will allow to crack on. Just make sure we cover them over, pinch them over a little bit. I've soaked the potting compost in rainwater, just so it's nice and damp for the seeds. And then, so we don't get confused what we're doing, we just put pepper. They can sit on the windowsill. Repeat the process with the tomatoes. So first we're going to do the Red Alert. So 1, 2 seeds there. Make sure they're covered. R, A, and then T for Tommy. Rat. Find it easy if I just keep all my seeds in one big tub. Just using our old celebrations tub. Super Marmont. I can't say that word. I'm just going to stop. Go 1, 2 seeds in there. Get them ones back. M, T. And then we got the cherry variety. I adore cherry tomatoes. 2. Let's get these seeds back in here, because I definitely want to grow more of this one, so I don't want to lose my seeds. Got a C for cherry, and then a T on. This is the seed sown compost that I'm using this year. We've got 3 varieties of tomato, just a couple of plants to keep us going early February. A couple of jalapenos, some rocket there, and some Japanese greens on the windowsill. That'll be it. I'm just gonna, before I end this little part of the video, I'm just gonna show you the beautiful snowdrops I was saying about on our lawn. You've watched all the way through to the end, past the allotment bit, to what I got up to in the kitchen at home. Thank you so much again for watching, and I hope to see you all down the allotment next week. Bye bye.